We've had a few questions from subscribers asking about the company index that we've used in a couple of videos that we've set up in Eikon, and just wants to know how we've gone about setting this up so that they can do it for themselves as well. So thanks for the questions. It's actually quite simple to do, and I'll quickly explain what we use it for first. As you guys would have heard, there's oftentimes very important individual company news being announced in the news feed, or over the audio squawk, or over Twitter, or over Bloomberg, or whatever news feed you're using. And for us who like to trade equity indices as opposed to individual stock names, it's still very handy to know, for example, what the top 5 companies are for each of those indexes that you're going to be trading. There's a way to find that information in Eikon as well. We'll show you guys how. However, other times it might be news about a company that you are not familiar with. Like a while back, we had very important news coming out from Merck KGaA, which is a pharmaceutical company in Germany. And they had news saying that they are stopping their COVID-19 vaccine development. Now, you already know just by hearing that that's going to be big news for the individual company. But it might also affect the relative equity indices or indexes that it's listed in as well. So that's really where something like the company index comes in handy, that we've built in Eikon, because it helps us to quickly search for company names to see in which index they might be trading. So to illustrate how quick and easy this can be, this is basically the 6 equity indexes that I like to trade. So these are the ones that I'll be monitoring. And let's say that Merck KGaA data just hits the wires, and you want to find out in what type of equity indexes it might affect. You can just on the screen just type in Control and F on your keyboard, opening up a little search bar, and there you can just type in the company name. In this case, it's Merck KGaA. And there you can see you've got 1 of 1 hits. And there we go, Merck KGaA. And there you can see it's in the DAX. So a very quick way for you to find that information. Let's use another one. Let's say it's AstraZeneca. You can just type in Astra. You see you've got 1 of 2 hits. It's in both the FTSE 100. And the second one is in the Euro Stoxx 50. So let's say AstraZeneca comes out with news tomorrow saying that they've developed a vaccine that fights the new variants of the virus. That's going to be very important for AstraZeneca. So you can find that, it's going to be important for the company, and it might be important for the FTSE 100 as well as the Euro Stoxx 50. Now, if you don't know what the weighting is of that company name, then, you might not have enough time to go and do that research. But at least if you know in what index it is, then you can, quickly go back to your screen, look at your charts and see, okay, has that move actually moved that equity index? Is it something that I need to be paying attention to or not? Now, let's say that you do, however, want to find out, how to, what the weighting is for individual company names in every one of the indexes. Eikon actually has that information as well in these equity index overviews, but we'll get to that in a second. So let me show you how to set this up. It's very, very simple. In any one of the tabs, just right-click, go to New Tab, and then in that search bar, just open up the Monitor app, or just search Monitor. Open up the Monitor app, and you'll see that I've gone very bare-boned with the information that you need here. You really don't want to see all the fancy fluff that you have, like, what the historical performance is and all those things. For this purpose, you only want to see in what index a company name is. You really only read the RIC code, the name, as well as the percentage change. Nothing really special. So for the Monitor, you'll see we've got all of these different options. So just keep the RIC, the name, and the percentage change. So all the other ones you can literally just, go ahead and right-click and delete. Do these ones as well. Just delete all of these ones that you don't need. And then I'm just going to zoom out a couple of times here, because we are going to add in quite a few columns. Now, I've got 6 columns on mine because I really focus on 6 equity indexes when I trade. If you've got 13, obviously you can create 13. It really depends on how many you have and how many you trade. And then to create those 13 ones, you can literally just go to menu, go to your multiple tables or multi-tables, and select how many columns you want. And then from there, it's really simple. You can just click, select the equity index that you would like to trade. Let's say it's the SPX. Go to the main equity index, and you'll see it gives you a little drop down. And from there, you can just click on that little drop down arrow, and that gives you all of the company names. You can, like me, if you want to see it like this, you can obviously create a little bit of a filter to see either the bottom performing or the top performing ones. You can add in, a heat map. to show you, to look a little bit more at that. You can play around with the formatting obviously on your own, but that's really how you set it up. Now, coming back to the other one, this is also really handy because this gives you all of the information about what companies, what the weighting is, what the most important companies is in any particular index. So to get to this screen, also very easy, just create any new tab. And in that tab, just search for an actual equity index. Let's say, once again, the SPX. Pop that on the screen, and you're going to see it opens up to an overview page. And from the overview page, you want to go and select the constituents option. Now, once you've done that, it'll take you to this page that you can see over here. And make sure that you have the summary option selected. And there you can see right on the right-hand side, there's a very handy option there called MCAP or market cap. Now, as you know, most of the equity indexes, most of them are market cap weighted. So if you can filter this in terms of market cap, you can already see what the top 5 or 10 companies are for every one of these stock indexes just by looking at the market cap itself. So we already know, looking at the S&P, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Alphabet, Tesla, Facebook, that shouldn't really be a surprise. Similar story there for the NASDAQ, shouldn't really be a surprise. You can actually filter that by market cap, very, very easy. Now, when it comes to something like the Dow Jones, however, remember this is price weighted and not market cap weighted. So for this one, you want to go to the price performance option. The reason you want to do that is you want to be able to filter the share price. If you take a look at the summary option, you don't have an option to filter the share price, but you do on the price performance for that particular day. And then you're going to look at the share price itself to see the top companies. So let's, for example, say that you have earnings coming up for Goldman Sachs. If you have a look at these sheets, that can tell you that, hey, this is going to be very important for the Dow Jones. But if you compare that to something like the S&P, for example, if you search for Goldman, you can see it's going to be an important name, but it's not going to be that important in terms of the total equity index. So very, very useful tool to use. Something that we really do use, as equity traders, and something that can be very handy for you. Now, if you don't have access to Eikon, there is a free version that you can look at. It's called marketscreener.com. You will need to create a free account to use this, however, and it's really the same process. You can select a company name. You can see that I search for Merck KGA. And if you want to see in what equity indexes it is, you can go to the company tab, scroll down to markets and indexes, and there you have what indexes is it's displayed in. And then you can also search for equity indexes itself, like the DAX. And if you want to see the weighting like we have on this page, for example, you can just go to the components option, and from the components you can see all the stock names with the market cap as well as the weighting. So guys, that's really how we built these tools in Eikon and how we use it. Any other questions, don't hesitate to let us know.